to my channel. So today we're going to be trying out the new Patrick Ta concealer, and it's a long name. It's the Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer, and I picked up the shade Medium Neutral 2. This is what the packaging looks like. I will talk about price and everything later on, but I just wanted to show you that. So I already took it out of the box because I wanted to cut back on time. And then the other thing I picked up, which you don't need to pick up, but I wanted to test it for you guys to see if it's worth getting or not. He came out with a dual-ended concealer brush, and it's the same packaging. It's just much bigger because it's a big brush. So this is what the brush looks like, and it's really pretty. It's that beautiful like rose gold that he likes to use. So this is the one end that he says to use to like blend out, like really sheer out the concealer. And then this is the more dense side that he suggests to use when you're applying the concealer. So like when you first apply it to really, and then you just kind of like sheer it up. So that's the brush right there. And then this is the concealer. Packaging is very similar to his foundation. If it's focusing there. It's really pretty. It's that beautiful like rose gold, and it's plastic. It's not glass, which I'm okay with, because for me, if you travel, I feel like glass can be, you know, tricky. I don't remember if the packaging for his foundation is glass or plastic or not. I'll just try to remember to put a little cards at some point in the video so you guys can watch my review on that as well. So anyways, let's get right into it. This is what my under eyes look like. They're pretty dark. Got a pimple coming out there. So for the sake of the video, what I'm gonna do is, I usually wear, you guys, if you've been following me for a while, or if you're new here, I always put on the MAC NW30 Studio Finish Concealer to help with this. So what I'm gonna do is I will put the MAC on this eye only and leave this eye without it, so we can see how much coverage this concealer actually does. And I was getting ready to say foundation. So let's just get right into it. I will do a swatch and everything when we're done. So let's see if it has a smell. No scent. This is what the applicator looks like. Hopefully it's focusing well for you guys. Right there. So it's kind of like slanted. All right. So let's just get right into it and start applying. I'm not going to do the technique that he did in his demo video. I'm just going to apply it the way I've been putting on my concealer. And for the sake of video, I'm going to see if it'll cover up this little blemish there. And so far, it looks like it's a perfect like match. Like I matched very, shade match myself very well. So I'm going to give that a little bit and let it kind of dry down a little bit. And while it's doing that, I'm just going to put the MAC on this eye so that we can get time for that one to set. And then I'm going to use the Real Techniques Expert Concealer Brush to apply this on my eye right here. And unfortunately, I don't think MAC sells this anymore. And I put it right there because I have a little spot there too. So you see how that immediately, for me, it just covers that up for me. Right there. So that'll dry down while this is drying down. And then put this so I don't go anywhere. So this is what it looks like. Not this, look, this is what it looks like. So as you can see, already oxidized, which is fine because I feel like it just really was gonna blend in. So I think that's good. I'm gonna start with this one because this, for some reason, this one looks like it's already dry. So I'm gonna use the end that he said, and he just says to really, like, wow. Did you see how that just dissolved into my skin? Whoa. That's kind of crazy. Okay. So I do like the way this brush feels. It has a nice weight to it. And the end of it is reminding me of like a bigger version of the Pat McGrath. Let's share this out. The Pat McGrath concealer brush that I tried years ago when I first tried her concealer. And I do have a review for that if you guys want to see that. I'll just have to remind myself when I'm editing to pop that in either the description box or put a card in the video. So this is blending out very effortlessly. Like, I really am not doing anything. Can you guys see that? Like, that's really good coverage. Like, I'm really impressed. So he suggested to then you take this and it's like you just kind of finish shearing it out. And it does claim that it's buildable. So as you can see, it's a little sheer. You can see my darkness peeking through a little bit. But all considering, it is, I don't think it's bad at all. Can you guys see that? I'm getting really close so you can really see. Like, that looks really, really good. Like, I'm super, super impressed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this alone and I'm going to do this eye for you guys over, not above, the MAC concealer. And you don't really need a lot, which is really good. Like, I really think that this is going to be like a good concealer so far from just the first time using it. For those days where you just want to do it real quick, like cover up the marks and just go out the door situation. So I'm going to let that settle. And so far this side is looking pretty good. I'm just going to go back like this and it looks good. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to put a little bit more here to see if it'll cover that up while this is settling. Because like I said, he said that it is a buildable formula. So I'm just put a little bit there. And while that's drying down, I think the other side is ready to shear out. Hold on. Okay. I didn't push it home. I'm like, why it's not closing? All right, so now let's blend out this side. And if you guys know, I am not a lefty, so I'm gonna just use my right hand. Like I said, this brush is very, very easy to use and it does not feel heavy, which is good because when a brush is too heavy, it really complicates things. So do you see that? Like, I feel like with the MAC, I'm gonna look up, definitely has more coverage because I use that. Yeah, my eyes are a little puffy, so it's obviously not going to take away the puffiness. I'm just looking to see if it's going to cover the darkness under my eyes and not crease to the point where it looks ridiculous. So we're going to use the other end, the fluffier side, and we're just going to blend that out and tap it. Like I said, this is blending out really, really nicely. And I probably should have used like some eye, you know, those, what are those called? Eye masks. I have, excuse me, I recently bought some and I should have probably used them before the video. But anyways, this is how it is. So we're going to go again with the brush. And then blend it out. And that definitely build it up. And now we have to put powder, which I think I'm going to just use this side to put the powder on. But that looks really good. So before I put the powder, I want to show you again up close. So this is it with 2 applications on the inner eye, mostly. And then this is the eye with 1 application and this the MAC underneath. Just ignore the puffiness. We're going for the coverage. And with the MAC concealer, I don't feel like I need to go in again with the actual concealer on top. So far, so good. Let me get my powder. So the powder I've been using is from MAC, and this is the Medium Plus, the Mineralized Skin Finish. This is what I used to use way, way, way back when. And I finally decided to pick it up because I used to have the Jouer one, if you guys remember. For those of you who are new here, I used to use the Jouer Cosmetic one all the time. But that one, it was expired, so I just decided to get this one. So this is what I'm going to use. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush thinking about it. Because, you know what? No, we want to see this brush. So let's go with this side. I didn't see him use it like this, but, you know. We're just doing it the way I would normally do this. Okay. And I'm just patting it in. So do you see that? And I am going to get creasing because I'm 53. I do have fine lines under my eyes, which, like I said, I can deal with as long as it's not super to the point where it just looks like worse than when I started. Because the whole point of concealer is you want it to conceal whatever you're trying to conceal, whether it's a blemish or a dark circle, but you don't want it to look worse than when you started. You get what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when I started, my eyes didn't look so wrinkly. So I don't want a concealer to make it look even more wrinkled when I'm done. Okay, so that's it. That's what it looks like with the powder. So now I am going to, it's 1:15. I'm going to wear this for a little bit, and then I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. If I don't come back today, it's because I lost the lighting, and then I'll come back next day. Nonetheless, I will come back and we will talk about how it went, is what I'm trying to say. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, everyone, so we're here to close out the video for the Patrick Ta concealer. So again, this is the packaging. That was my elbow. That's the packaging. And it's really pretty, and it's made out of plastic. It's not glass. And I really do like the packaging, the way it looks. I really like the applicator as well. Like I said, there's no scent to this. Like, it's, and if, like, I literally don't smell anything. So I like that the applicator is like, can you see, it's like slanted. And I felt that when I applied it, it went really perfectly in there. It glided on really like a dream. Let me do a swatch for you guys so you can really see what this shade looks like. And hi, Mama. My cat's saying hello. Can you give me a second? This is shade Medium Neutral 2, like I said. And this is what the shade looks like. And I think this is a perfect match for me. So if you are in the same concealer foundation shade as me, I think you will like it. So let me go on my notes, because I did write my notes down about the concealer. So I gotta find that. Okay, so like I mentioned, there's no scent, blends easily. Like, I think this is really good for what he said, you know, like no makeup look. You know, so like if you just want to spot and conceal, I think this will be great for that. And like I said, it was a perfect match. It's very skin-like. It's very brightening. I really like how I brightened my under eye when I did it. I have no makeup on right now, if you guys are wondering. I have nothing on. But here's the thing. I don't recommend it. Because I don't know why, for some reason, when I put on it, it started stinging in my left eye. And it was just coincidentally, then the next day I had a sty. Well, literally the same day I had a sty on this eye. And that's why it took a while to come back and close out this video. So yeah, so it's slight stinging. I don't know why. And then I had slight creasing. Hold on, Mama. Right away in my eye. I'll see if I can put pictures. I think I took pictures. If I did, I'll put them when I'm editing. And it looked very textured, you know, like here. Because I know I'm going to get creasing here because, hello, this is the brush that I tried out too. But I didn't like that it was all here in the area of the concealer. I don't mind if it's up here a little bit because I am 53 years old and I'm going to get creasing. But I feel like if I want to put concealer on, it shouldn't make my skin look worse than when I applied it on. And my skin looked a lot worse after applying this concealer. And it seemed to fade on me really quickly, like within an hour. Like, it was really, really fading. Now, I did try it again the next day, but I didn't do it on this side. I did it on this side because since I have the sty. And I did, like, put it on without powder. I was like, let me wear it all day without powder. Still got the same texture. As I said, I thought maybe it's the powder. Still got the same texturing, the way it looked. If anything, it looked worse without using powder. And again, it just within an hour, it faded. I went back in and I built it up again. So it was just very problematic for me. So I feel like for the price, it's $34, which I didn't mention that previously. And you get 0.2 ounces or 6 milliliters, which is about the standard for these concealers is what you're going to get. And there are a total of 25 shades in the range for the concealer. And online it says that it's a long-wearing liquid concealer with buildable medium coverage that quickly brightens and blurs the unders and complexions. I agree with the first part of it, but not sure about the blurring because I feel like it didn't really blur, and it is medium coverage because I didn't feel like I had to apply twice to cover up my darkness or anything like that. But like I said, I did rebuild it because when it faded to see if you can put it on top again. So yeah, so it says the medium coverage natural and it's a liquid formulation. So again, it's beautiful packaging. Love that it doesn't smell that. The price point is Patrick Ta. I don't think it's too much, but it just didn't work out for me. And now let's talk about the brush. This brush is $30, and this brush, I don't want my iPad to fall. This brush is beautiful. It is a beautiful brush. It's very well balanced. I feel like if you don't have any brushes in your collection, right, and you want something that's pretty and this dual-ended, then I do recommend this, because this side really blended out the concealer very well. And I feel like for how big it is, you can actually even use it like if you wanted to blend out foundation, like in spots of your face. And I feel like this side is really good for just even buffing it out, like using it even all over the face and even applying powder. So I do like the brush, but I will be returning it because you guys know I have other brushes that I like, okay, that I use all the time, my holy grail ones. Like maybe if I didn't have any brushes, I would keep it, but because I have so many, I would not. Like I prefer, like you guys already know, my Real Techniques brush, the setting brush. I've been using that for years. My go-to brush all the time. And my concealer brushes, I like the Cat Paw one from Real Techniques. You guys know I use Real Technique brushes and I use Sigma brushes, and 95% of the time I use the Sigma, not the Sigma, the Real Technique ones, and I still love them. And Ulta Beauty also does have some brushes, but they don't have them anymore. You can see my cat, she's in the background. So yeah, so I'm gonna return it as well, along with the concealer. They just didn't work for me. The concealer didn't work for me, the brush worked for me, but I don't need another brush because, like I said, it's not anything where I'm like, oh, this is different to anything that I have. I feel like what I already use is much better. So these two things will be going back. So that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you tried out the Patrick Ta concealer and if it worked out for you. So I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.